Pretty amazing what this Cowboy team can do and look like when Dak is not throwing it straight to the other guys over and over again. Just the same. Pretty incredible how terrible the Bucs are, even if that's nothing new and not a surprise. Thing is, it's been forever since the Cowboys looked this good in a game that really mattered. And forever since Bacon 45 has looked this bad in a game that really mattered. In fact, I'm not sure he has. I'm not sure. Never mind the stats. Never mind those inflated, hollow stats that meant nothing. The guy did have to put it up 66 times to get those numbers that meant nothing. When was the last time you saw that guy look that jittery and that disinterested in getting hit? Anyway, I've never seen that guy look that bad on a stage that big. Anybody who thought that some big second-half comeback was brewing has not been watching Tampa all season long, because the Bucs have been ass all year long. But they did save their biggest dump in their pants for last. And now the Cowboys have finally gotten over on Bacon 45. They finally have a win against the geriatric GOAT. And that win almost certainly is going to put an end to the Bacon era Buccaneers. The Baco Buccaneers are cooked. But I'll tell you who's not. I'll tell you who's not cooked. Big fella, Mike McCarthy. I mean, we can question whether or not Dallas is that good or the Bucs are that bad, but the big fella had them ready to play last night. So I'm not talking about food. I'm talking about Big Mike being the biggest winner of all last night, allegedly. Big Mike, allegedly, was not coaching for his job, allegedly. But now it seems like that's not really a factor. Now it seems like he is back in line for another big sleepover at the Jera mansion. Because Jera seems like he's falling in love with Big Mike all over again. After the game, he sounded like a teenager with a brand new crush. Jera said, quote, "You think I was sold on him before this outstanding game for the Cowboys? I've gone up a notch." I like that, Alvy. I like where you went with that. Jera on Big Mike after the game. "Yeah, you think I was sold on him before this outstanding game for the Cowboys? Well, I've gone up a notch. Got a couple new sleeping bags. We'll be up all night drinking bourbon. Nice fire, crackling wood, telling stories. Smooth jazz and even smoother bourbon. Talking about the good old days.
He's
today.
as pure as mother's milk.
Got ourselves some more glory days. It's as smooth as circumcising a mosquito. You, Michael, you meet your new stepbrother, Steven. Big Mike does get that invite for another sleepover. Gotta say, he earned it. He earned it because, believe it or not, that was the Cowboys' first road playoff win in 3 decades. The last time the Cowboys won a road game in the postseason was actually 30 years ago today, January 17th, 1993, in Frisco. I mean, how hard is that to believe? 30 years ago today was the last time they won a road playoff game. So if Big Mike wants to take a big sigh of relief because he did not take another big dump in his pants, big fella's earned it. He also might want to thank the Bucs for barely showing up last night. I mean, seriously, what the hell was that? It was like Bacon finally threw his first red zone pick as a Buc, and the entire team just shut it down right there on the spot. Forget wondering if Tampa is about to blow this thing apart in the offseason. We just watched them blow this thing apart on the field during the game last night. Already reports coming out of Tampa that OC Byron Leftwich is expected to be bleep canned. And if Todd Bowles does not end up following him into that wood chipper, he should consider himself fortunate as hell. Because nothing about that team was well coached. We can get into whether or not Brady is in fact washed and what Brady should or should not do. But I'm going to tell you what he's not going to do. This much I do know. No way in hell that guy gets anywhere near that dumpster fire with the Bucs ever again. I don't know what he's going to do. We could talk about what he should or should not do, but I know this. That guy's not going anywhere near them ever again. Pretty clear he's already played his last down for them. Given his unwillingness to stand in and take any more shots or punishment to make a play, I think it's fair to ask whether or not this guy even wants to run it back at all again. I mean, he'll say it. He'll act like it. But watching that guy in the pocket, does he look like he wants to take even one more hit? Even one more hit? It sounds like he does if you listen to him, but it sure as hell doesn't look like he does. Now, I think the one thing we can all agree on about Bacon 45, no way in hell he plays another down for the Bucs. That's it. I didn't need to see or hear him after the game to know that much. But he all but confirmed it when he did get in front of the media once that ass-kicking was complete. Or can you imagine? You imagine this guy trying to figure out if and when or how he could actually finish off his career back home in Frisco. You know, take advantage of all those amazing weapons they have offensively. Take advantage of Kyle Shanahan's offense. Take advantage of and gravy train that great Niner defense to another ring as they continue to try to develop and get Trey Lance ready. I mean, I could see it. The one thing I do know, that guy's not going back to Tampa. No way he wants any part of any of that ever again. However, despite all that, I think what I've done, and I might add irresponsibly, is bury the lead. Because I do have a new favorite player. The newest member of the Jacoby Myers Hall of Fame is my dude, Brett Maher. He's getting his own wing. Sure, I have never seen a more entertaining or more random subplot in an otherwise unwatchable blowout. And it's got to be one of my favorite things ever. Because he absolutely, just like that, became one of my favorite guys ever. I've got no idea how it's possible for a professional kicker to miss 4 extra points in the same game. I mean, I'm watching this, I'm thinking to myself, I literally cannot take my eyes off this. This is amazing. Like, I love Trevor Lawrence. I was in awe that he threw 4 first-half picks. This is so much more impressive. Think about it. Now, actually, check it. He missed 4 extra points in a row in the same game. I'm just so glad my man did step up and did not deliver and become the first kicker in the history of the sport to ever miss 4-point afters in any game, regular season or postseason. Like, I'm not mad. I'm impressed. I have gratitude. I'm thankful because Maher just saved the game from being basically unwatchable. And if Dallas deserves praise for anything last night, it's how they stepped up and had my guys back afterwards. Dak put it perfectly. Most of that is true, but not all of it. And especially that part about him being Money Maher's biggest fan. Straight up lie. You're a liar, Dak. You are. Because I am Money Maher's biggest fan. And I am pumped to report that his job is in no way in jeopardy after that breathtaking performance last night. In fact, I think this guy did enough to get an invite to the Jera sleepover party. Jera didn't say that, but he was pretty definitive that Money Maher is in fact safe. For once, Jera and I are on the same page. If you've got a problem with Brett Money Maher, you've got a problem with yourself. Or you bet the over. Because the over-under on total points scored in that game last night was 45.5, or exactly a half point more than Dallas and Tampa combined to put up. So any one of those 4 missed point afters would have gotten you paid if you bet that over. And my response to that? Oh! Yeah, my response to that. And got my ass kicked this weekend. It'll happen. So, again, if you've got a problem with money, Maher, you got a problem with you. Or you bet the over. Or your name is Peyton Manning. We all know nobody hates kickers like Pinky hates kickers. I mean, y'all are football royalty, and y'all know more and have forgotten more than I could ever know in a million years. But how could you be so wrong about something like that? What do you mean, buzzkill? That's the only reason any of us were still watching that game, to see how many he'd miss. I mean, Pate, dude, relax. Chill out. Did you have a bet on that game as well? Did you bet the over as well? It was a blowout, dude. This isn't like your idiot kicker. Buzzkill my ass. Let me tell you about those kicks. He missed the first one, I would have blown a .1. He missed a second one, I would have blown a .2. He missed that third one, I would have blown a .3. And by the time he missed that fourth one, I was legally dead at .4. What do you mean, buzzkill? I got drunk as hell without even drinking watching that. He just gave us some of the most amazing entertainment ever during an otherwise incredibly boring game that most people would have turned off. If anything, Pate, he's the anti-idiot kicker.
Idiot kicker.
He's my new favorite kicker. Hell, he's my new favorite player. No, he's my new favorite human being. Easy. Pink, give it a rest.
Why are we kicking it?
Nothing. Not even kicking. Why are we kicking it? Because he might miss again. That's why we're kicking it.
Got to be kidding.
Why are we kicking it? Why do we do anything? Because we can. Listen, nothing. Not even kicking drama can get in the way of those amazing Cowboy vibes this morning. Because Cowboy fan and Cowboy owner have been waiting 3 decades for these vibes. That's the team everybody's been waiting on. Getting to this point has been like, I don't know, how would you even describe it? Getting to this point after all this time, because I'm old enough to know, and I worked in the business then, I remember the glory hole days. I remember the triplets. I remember how awesome that all was. You know what it's like been waiting this long for this? It's been like circumcising a mosquito.
Circumcising the mosquito.
It's been like, I don't know, coughing up a lung. That painful. But you know what? Jarrett called it. I got to give it to the old guy. He called it. They did suck on that Washington loss all week long. And they saved Big Mike's ass and Jarrett's hopes for getting back to the glory days and getting back on schedule.